High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah, come. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, you can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Tell me where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on cop? The Most High is my rock.
TK.
Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock.
Shalom Yasharallah.
Shalom.
Welcome to another class here with ISBHBK. We're located in Houston, Texas. The school address is 8524 South Braesville Boulevard, Houston, Texas. Zip code 77071. The class times and days is Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m., Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. And we also got a school in Virginia as well. The class times and days out there and address is 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia. 23517 is the zip code. And it's Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And also got a school in San Antonio, Texas. The school address out there is 4444 Road, Suite 201, San Antonio, Texas. Zip code 78218. And you can watch us, you can catch us in many different avenues. You can catch us on the Blog Talk Radio. Mashaba does the Blog Talk Radio Tuesday through Sunday out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, starting at about 10 a.m. The flyer for that is on the screen. Definitely like, share, and subscribe to that. And you can catch us on our other channels. We ask that you do like, share, and subscribe to the Norfolk channel. And the 5 Minutes of Wisdom, the Hidden Truth Bible Show, and the Israelite Media Corp, which is all on YouTube. You can like, share, and subscribe to those channels. And we want to make a special announcement. We do have some feast days approaching. Oh, wow. We do have some feast days approaching. We have the Feast of Trumpets, Feast of Blowing of the Trumpets, Memorial of the Trumpets. It's going to be on September the 16th. It's going to be on September the 16th. That kind of snuck up on us. It's about 3 weeks away. So September the 16th, we'll be celebrating the trumpets, the Feast of Memorial of Blowing the Trumpets on the 16th. And then 9 days later, we'll be celebrating the Day of Atonement on the 25th of September. And then 5 days after that, we'll be celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles, which will be on the 30th. So it is feast season. It is definitely feast season. Yeah, so look out for those feasts. They're going to creep up on us really quick. So definitely look out for that. Again, Israel Wear is back to accepting orders. You can go on there, place an order for a garment if you would like. And Israel Wear, we do have a subscription service for Israel Wear. It's about $30 or $35, something like that. And you subscribe and you get a nice fringe shirt every month. You get a nice fringe shirt. And we are doing a Unity garment. We are doing a new Unity garment. And the deadline to get the money in for the Unity garment is going to be on the 6th, September the 6th, and it's $160. It's $160, and that'll be on the 6th for you to get the Unity garment. And got to have the money in by the 6th. And we are doing the Hebrew Academy here in Houston. It's every Tuesdays and Thursdays. The Zoom calls is on Tuesday only. And in Virginia, it's Mondays and Wednesdays. Zoom calls is only on Wednesdays for those that are out of state. And if you'd like to contact any of the priests, we got Priest Kwatazap to my right. His number is 303-557-8979. We got Priest Kazaki. His number is 757-300-4047. Their number should be on the screen. And then we ask that you do support our business. The business is Sweet Ambiance. You can go on sweetambiance.com, get some nice smells, and get some nice smell goods. And if you would like to send in a donation, if you would like to help out anyway, We got all those on the screen, all the ways you can help out on the screen. So, yep, that's it. That's it for the announcements. So with that, we'll open it up for class.
Yeah, got a lot of feasts coming up. Wow. Everybody doing all right?
Con.
Hopefully everybody online is doing okay. We're gonna get into this title. I don't have like a title. You can title this one The Importance of Shepherds. The importance of a shepherd. All right, and once again, another reminder of why. There's a few things we're going to hit in this class, and one of the main points is keeping the standards that the Most High has laid down from the beginning.
Con.
There's reasons why, when you read about Paul, when you read Paul's writings, there's reasons why Paul wrote and said things the way he said it, to put into the people's minds what was needed for their situations. Right? So let's go into the first scripture. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. And just with the first point, understanding that standard, there's a standard, and when I say standard, I mean a way of doing things, right? Somebody look up the word, somebody define that word for me, standard. Let's see what we get, so we can understand what we're talking about. What does the word standard mean? The importance of shepherds.
Standard?
Right. Standard. Yep, what you got?
Standard. That's a biblical definition, yeah. An ensign of war, a staff.
Go to number 3.
That which is established as a rule or model.
Right, so something that's been established as the rule or the model. What else?
By the authority of the public opinion.
Go ahead.
Or by respectable opinions.
Go ahead.
Or by custom or general consent as writings which are admitted to be the standard of style and...
Right. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Right, so, the word standard has many definitions. It has about 6. But the one we want in this context is what we just read, which is, read it one more time.
That which is established as a rule or model.
Right, so we're dealing with rules and regulations, basically. Go ahead.
By the authority of public opinion or
Right.
by respectable opinions.
Go ahead.
Or by custom.
Or by custom. So we're dealing with rules and regulations that have been established through the Hebrew customs. But more importantly, these things have been established through the law. Right? So go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 1.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 4, verse 1.
Right?
Furthermore, then we beseech you, brethren,
Right?
and exhort you by Yahushua, that as ye have received of us how ye ought to walk.
Right, so as you have received the rule and standards, the regulations, go ahead, of how to walk, read.
And to please the Most High.
Go ahead.
So you would abound more and more.
Right, so there is a rule of thumb. You know when they say this is the rule of thumb? But usually that's the standard of it. They apply that phrase to anything you do. Like the rule of thumb is da-da-da-da-da, right?
Yeah.
Or like the rule of thumb when doing something mechanic wise. I don't know. But they have that saying in basically all professions, man. The rule of thumb.
Right.
Right? So there is a rule of thumb. There is a certain degree of measure on how and what is pleasing with the Most High. So what does that mean? That everything don't please the Most High, right? Every standard is not a standard. Or every standard that's been established throughout the world is not what needs to be followed. There's one standard, right? Go to 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 2. Just to open it up, just to remind brothers and sisters that we have a standard in all that we do, and it has already been established. We don't have to reestablish it. It's already been laid down. Paul said it best. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 2.
Right.
Now praise you, brethren,
Right.
that ye remember me in all things,
Right.
and keep the ordinances as I deliver them to you.
He said keep the what?
Keep the
He
ordinances.
said keep the ordinances. Somebody look that word up. Ordinances. He said to keep them as they've been delivered unto us, right?
That's right.
So what do we got for ordinances?
Ordinance,
Right?
a rule established by authority or a permanent rule of action.
Right. I mean, doesn't it sound just like what we read with standard?
That's right.
A rule that is established by an authority. So we know that our ordinances have been established by the Most High through Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
An ordinance may be a law or statute of sovereign power.
Read.
In this sense, it is often used in the scriptures.
Yeah, you see that? It's often used in the scriptures. Go ahead.
It may also signify a decree, edict, or rescript.
Right.
And the word has sometimes been applied to the statutes of parliament.
Right. So what else you got?
But these are usually called acts or laws in the United States.
Right. They're called acts or laws, right? What you got?
Psalm 78, verse 5 and 6.
Go ahead. So we're establishing that ordinances and standards have been laid down. Now, what he's going to go to is going to reiterate that the law has been given to Israel, right? And this class is geared not towards the law itself verbatim. And as we progress, you guys are going to understand what I'm talking about. But go ahead, go there.
Psalm chapter 78, verse 5.
Right?
For he established a testimony in Jacob, and appointed a law in Yasharallah,
Go ahead.
which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children.
So this is the standard. This is a base standard that we were supposed to do and we're supposed to teach to our children. And just holding in that we had something to go off of and not our own thoughts and our own opinions on what our own personal standard is or what the standard of the nations were. Read on.
Verse 6. That the generation to come might know them.
That who might know?
The generation to come.
Okay, so this is supposed to be perpetual. Our standard of being a Hebrew Israelite, the standard of what the Most High has set for us, was supposed to be perpetuated through our generations. Read on.
Even the children which should be born,
Go ahead.
who should arise and declare them to their children.
So, I just wanted to bring that out just to let us all know that it's not a new thing, this standard. It's actually the old way, the old path, and we were supposed to continue to keep it from generation to generation. But of course, through time and through the influence of the nations and our own wickedness, that standard has gotten diminished.
Did you go to, for the word ordinances, did you go to the Webster's?
No,
Okay.
no, it's KJV Bible.
Oh, okay. I'm going to show y'all what I got for ordinances. For ordinance, I have a giving over which is done by word of mouth or in writing. Tradition by instruction. This is very important because a lot of our ordinances were given orally. We have oral commandments. Right? A lot of the things that we did them in a righteous tradition, where you didn't have to tell a person, hey, this is how you carry yourself in this situation. This is how you carry yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
We did things traditionally. For example, when you deal with marriage and betrothals, is there a law in the scriptures that say thou must betroth for a certain amount of time?
Law.
Right? There's no law on that, right? But there was a tradition, there was an instruction that was given just on that point. And you guys are going to see why I'm going to go into that. That's very important. That's very important because that in having a standard, having a rule of thumb, having a rule established on the things that are laid down, you know, that topic is important. You know why? A lot of brothers and sisters fail at it. That topic, that's one. And there's a few others, we'll get into it. So we have ordinances, a giving over which is done by word of mouth or in writing. So we're understanding that the standard is laid down. The standard is there regardless of man or any man and his doings. There is a standard to attain to. Now, who delivers the standard? Well, it's important. Go back to 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 2.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Now praise you, brethren,
Right.
that ye remember me in all things,
Go ahead.
and keep the ordinances as I deliver them to you.
As they what?
As I deliver them to you.
See, the ordinances are going to be delivered by man. Why is this important? Well, because you have brothers, you have sisters that think, well, the Spirit is going to show me.
Yeah.
Right? I'll just pray on it. Ain't that what they teach us in church? I'm gonna pray on it and see what my pastor says, or I'm gonna just pray on it and see what God. I'm gonna let God talk to me.
Yeah.
Right? Not understanding that. Read it one more time.
Now I praise ye, brethren,
Right.
that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances
Go ahead.
as I deliver them to you.
Right. So that means that there's men, there's women that are in place to guide and to shepherd the sheep.
Yeah.
Right? There's shepherds that are in place. Go to 1 Peter's. Go to 1 Peter's real quick. What do I want? 1 Peter's 5 and 3,
5 and 1.
5 and 1, 5 and 2.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 2. Feed the flock of the Most
Go
High,
ahead.
which is among you.
Right. So when they feed the flock, what is it that they're feeding the flock? Is it hay and water? When it says feed the flock, what does that mean? Who can break that down in the context of what I'm talking about now? Who can give me some understanding? Feed the flock. Sis.
Feeding the flock means to give them the bread of life, give them the word,
Right.
scripture,
Give them the word, give them the scriptures. And going,
laws,
right, say it again.
laws, the commandments.
Right.
Yes.
Giving them the ordinances,
Rules and regulations.
rules and regulations.
do's
What
and
what
don'ts.
the do's and the don'ts? What's synonymous with sheep and sheep herders? What's synonymous with them too? What are the things? What is the purpose of the sheep, and what is the purpose of the herder?
Watch them.
To watch them, right?
Protect them. Watch over them.
Protect them, watch over them, to correct them. Because what do sheep want to do?
Illustrate.
They want to go astray. And it's not that they want to go astray. It's that, what are sheep doing, man? They walking around with their heads down grazing.
Crazy.
They're just grazing. Like, we're just trying to eat. We're trying to get some grass.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the good grass and the good water, right? That's all a sheep is really concerned about.
Yeah.
Eating, filling themselves up. Now, if you take that into a human perspective, what are the parishioners of any congregation? What are they concerned with?
Prosperity, getting their way, getting what they want.
Feel good.
Feels good.
Not just feeling good, but they're concerned. Watch, read it one more time.
1 Peter chapter 5, verse 2.
Right?
Feed the flock.
See, they're concerned with being fed. Their concern is being fed. Now, think about it. No matter what realm you go into, whether it be church, whether it be Israelite school, whether it be Islam, whether it be, no matter what it is, if you attend, you're looking to have your spirit fed. You're looking to have something put in you.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what level, church, Israelite, Islam, Buddha, you go there to have that spirit fed. So the sheep are looking to be fed. The sheep aren't concerned with the wolves that are moving around the outer skirts, that are peering in to see, oh, I can get that one as soon as the shepherd turns his back. Oh man, can't wait. Dang, as soon as Quadazape looking, slide right in on that one. Right? Or I'm going to get that weak one. Right? Or I'm going to come in unaware and implant certain thought processes and then move around. The sheep are just concerned with eating, man. The shepherd, read it again.
Feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you.
This is the shepherd's job, to feed the flock. Go ahead.
Taking the oversight thereof.
Taking the what?
The oversight thereof.
This is very important. We go to the scripture a lot, but when you break down the little nuances of the words, like taking oversight. Why does there have to be an oversight? Because the sheep, why does there even have to be an oversight of the sheep? Well, we said it. Because the sheep ain't concerned about that.
Yeah.
They're not concerned about their well-being past eating.
Safety.
They don't know about safety.
Wow.
They don't know what is safe and what's not. They don't know that the wolf is trying to devour them. They can't even recognize the wolf sometimes. Yeah. So what does he do? He disguises himself in the tall brush, creeps around bushes. He'll lay in wait, just in the tall grass, just sitting there for days, waiting for his moment.
Yeah, he's patient.
Patient, man. And the shepherd is like, oh, no, I see you. And what does he do? Come on, little sheepy. Come on, little sheepy. He's ringing his bell, ding, ding, however they shepherd, right? And he got the sheep herd dog, or the shepherd dog,
yeah,
right? The border collies or whatever dog they use, and he's rounding the sheep away from the dangers, right? There's an oversight that has to be taken, but for oversight to be taken, what else has to happen? Well, the oversight has to be given. Meaning the sheep have to be willing to say, you know what? I don't know what's best for me at this moment. I don't know what's going to be best for my well-being because I'm brand new. I'm just learning. Let me give up that control and be led.
Going in faith.
Go ahead. Right. Rolling in faith. Read on.
Not by constraints.
But there can't be a constraint. There can't be a pulling and tugging of control. No, I want oversight. No, I want oversight. It says not by constraint. You know when you constrain something, you grab it, you choke it,
yeah,
you bend it to your will, not by constraint. All right, it ain't gonna work. Right? Go ahead.
But willingly.
But what?
Willingly.
But there has to be willingness. There got to be a willingness on both ends. There has to be a willingness to be the good shepherd, and there has to be a willingness to be led, to be fed. Go ahead.
Not for filthy lucre.
Why can't it be for, I always say for dirty money. Why can't it be for any type of gain whatsoever? It says for filthy lucre, but can it be for any type of gain? Can you lead the flock of the Most High for any type of gain? No. Why? Who knows why? Somebody tell me why. What happens when you're... Go ahead, what?
So, within the context of this class and being a shepherd and everything like that, and understanding that, like, okay, sheep, having to protect them, having to guide them, having to watch over them, clean them up, you know what I'm saying? Keep them in a group, keep them together and everything like that. If we're doing anything for carnal gain, for selfish carnal gain, then we're not going to care if one goes astray.
Right.
If a wolf comes and slaughters 3 of them at a time.
Well, I got 10 more over here.
God.
Right? Or I got what I came for, I'm going to leave all the sheep. It can't be for gain. Go ahead.
But of a ready mind.
But of a ready mind. There got to be a readiness on both parts, man. On both parts, on both sides. A readiness to be led, a readiness to lead. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Right?
Neither as being lords over the Most High heritage.
Right, go ahead.
But being in samples.
So not being lords over them, like to the point where I'm the ruler and y'all are the slaves. Right? I'm the king and y'all are my peasants. No, but it says as an example, meaning I'm going to walk the walk, and the thought is that you follow as sheep.
That's right.
Even when you look at that, because she had posted a picture of a shepherd with a whole bunch of sheep, right? Like when you look at that, like the sheeps ain't serving the shepherd. You know what I mean? It's more like the shepherd is actually serving the sheeps.
Yeah.
So the sheep's gotta allow, like you said, the sheep's gotta allow the shepherd to do his job, and then the shepherd has to do his job as well. But the sheep has to allow the shepherd to do what the shepherd needs to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because if the sheep doesn't, that's how a sheep will end up getting lost and getting torn to pieces by these wolves and just doing what the sheep wants to do.
And that's the part that's tricky.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to, as a sheep, you're trying to move the way you want. Yeah. You're trying to walk according to your own standard, the only standard that you know. And the shepherd is like, no, get back in line. And it's like, get back in line. And it's like, dang, man, why you keep subjecting me to the hits, right? Why does he keep chastising me? Why does he keep telling me? Yeah. Why does he keep repeating himself? Well, like he said, the shepherd is at service to the sheep. There is no gain. Like, does anybody think that I get my rocks off by telling y'all what the hell to do? I surely don't. If anybody don't get it, I surely don't sit up in my room with a picture of Ricardo, Shalak, not Yashakar, right? Shalak. Like, man, I gotta tell him I can't wait to tell him what to do. I can't wait to correct his life today. I can't wait to guide his life today. Like, nah. You think us as leaders?
That'd be dope though.
But what I'm saying is we don't. It's not like we sit around like, oh, I'm gonna chastise Shaddach today. I can't wait to get up and lock a Rob's business and blaze his ass for being sick or whatever the case may be. It's nothing like that. We don't get off to that.
Yeah.
We rather have those days where, man, how was the day? Wow, no problems, no issues. But the days that suck, go to Hebrews 13:17. The days that suck, man, are the ones where you got to give that evil report. Like, man, damn, man, I lost one.
Or one got hurt.
Then I tried to guide it off the cliff, and it walked off the cliff. Everything was in place.
Yeah.
Everything was in place for success, and somehow, man, a wolf slid in. A wolf slid in and grabbed her.
While I was dealing with this sheep, wolf came and got this other sheep.
Yeah. Watch, and the scripture is going to tell us, Hebrews 13:17.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you.
So as the sheep, there got to be an obedience. You got to obey them that have the rule, the ordinances that have the shepherdship Because a shepherd, right? What did it say? It said that he established rules. Right? Did we look up the word shepherd? Or am I? We did, right?
Yeah, we did.
Right. Go back to that definition real quick. Shepherd. Obey them that have the rule, not the lordship. Shepherd. Not the lordship, but the rule over you.
Shepherd.
Right.
Shepherd. A man employed in tending, feeding, and guarding sheep in a pasture.
He's tending, tending, feeding, and guarding sheep. Why wouldn't you obey that man? He's tending to your needs. He's feeding you the knowledge. He's guiding you away from the things that are harmful. So the Bible says, read it again.
Obey them that have rule over you.
Go ahead.
And submit yourselves.
Right. This is important. Not by constraint. Not for filthy lucre, but for a ready mind. Go ahead.
For they watch for your souls.
They do what?
For they watch for your
You
souls.
just want to be in your business?
For they watch for your souls.
It's about, they trying to get paid?
For they watch for your
See,
souls.
there's no gain here. We're watching for the souls of the sheep.
You know, so I'm looking this up about sheep.
Right?
And it talks about their vision. It says that sheep actually have good vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could see behind them without moving their head to look behind them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they sacrifice that, their front vision. They can't see. They have horrible depth perception.
Wow.
So they can't, if something is in front of them, attacking them, they won't be able to tell until it's like right
That's
there.
why
so
a wolf,
it's too late.
Yeah, a wolf can get up on a sheep. Very
quickly.
close. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that out.
Because when you look at us, it's the same. People will be seeing things coming, and you don't see it, and then the shepherd is telling you, and then you don't realize until it's too late.
Until you already got bit in the face.
Yeah.
Until you're already getting drug away. Yeah, sheep's depth perception. They can't see what's in front of them directly. It's blurry. It's a blurry. They got a blurry front vision.
It's weird, but like everything else, clear. On top and right in front of them, they don't have it.
And
like
what's
that.
wild is you got to look at a sheep's face, and then you'll probably get a better understanding if you look at where their eyes are and how their eyes look. Their eyes are spread apart and they're big and they ain't really got no eyelids. It's weird, but think about it: to not be able to see, have a depth of sight in front of you. That's why someone has to take that oversight to be able to lead you, because a sheep will walk off a cliff.
Yep.
He'll walk right off a cliff and not understanding there's danger. Every other animal, a horse will be running, he'll see that cliff, whoa, he'll pull up. Nope, not jumping over that. A dog, he'll run up, see that, whoa, no, not jumping off of that. But a sheep, they're vulnerable just by nature, they're vulnerable. Why? Because of their depth perception. Now think about that.
That's crazy.
Think about now why when you come into the knowledge, you come in with so many battle scars. Because your depth perception in the world was trash. You had no side perception. You had no 360 vision at all. So now you're getting all these hurts and pains and scars because there was no one there really to guide you through life. But now you have the ones there that are the messengers, whatever you want to call them, messengers, prophets, shepherds, guides, seers, right? Pastors, bishops, I don't care what title you use. You have them there now literally looking for your well-being. Because again, we don't get nothing carnal for sitting up here and teaching brothers and sisters. We don't get nothing for that.
We sure don't.
Right? We actually give up the more to be able to do this. Y'all don't see us doing this, right?
Punch card.
That's the punch card.
I don't think nobody punch cards anymore.
Right? Everybody clocking digitally, but y'all don't see us doing that, right? And then y'all never hear like, oh, hey, I'll hit you back on that work. I hit you when I get off. Y'all, nobody, whenever y'all call for counsel or for help, it's never, hey, I'm busy doing something outside of the body, outside of the other sheep. You'll get hey, I'll call you back because I'm dealing with another sheep.
No.
You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to get this sheep from dropping on. I'm sorry, I think I spit on you. I'm trying to get this sheep to not jump or fall. So give me a sec. Let me wrangle him in. Boom, I'll get right back with you. You see that? But we never put ourselves above or before the sheep. If you get hey, not right now, I'm busy, because there's other sheep with more pressing issues to be tended to.
Can I hit this real quick?
Yeah, what you got?
So there was a story in Europe, in Turkey. They had a flock of 1,500 sheep, and one of them, the shepherds went to go have breakfast, and one of the sheep jumped off the cliff, and 450 just followed.
Just followed them.
And just jumped, and they all started jumping. No, 450 died, but they all jumped off the cliff, and the only reason why the rest didn't die is because the bodies started piling up. So they started getting cushioned. That fall started getting cushioned. Yeah.
Wow.
But I wanted to hit this too. It says that sheeps are pest magnets. So this is another reason why they need shepherds, because they're pest magnets.
Because what he does is he brushes out, he shears the fur. You got to cut that fur off a sheep in the summer because they get too hot. In the winter they need it, but you got to comb it. You got to brush it. What else?
They get ticks easy, lice, worms.
Yep.
And you have to clean them so they can stay healthy.
Yeah. Yep.
You
literally
constantly
have
gotta
to
clean them up.
groom a sheep.
Wow.
Yeah.
It ain't
That's
like,
powerful.
they just run around and roll around in the mud and then go rinse themselves off in the rain.
It's funny. It's like the sheep was created. The sheep was created to have shepherds, because without the shepherds, the sheep couldn't.
Wow.
They couldn't live.
They wouldn't be able to
They
live.
couldn't live.
They were created for a simultaneous type of ebb and flow where the sheep need a maintenance and the shepherd had to be attentive, because think about it. You got good shepherds and you got bad shepherds, right?
That's right.
You got David, which was a good shepherd.
Ooh,
He killed lions and bears for his sheep,
man.
right? And then you had other shepherds that they just let the sheep go astray. They just let things happen to the sheep. They didn't give the upkeep. They didn't feed them, take care of them, and the sheep diminished. They perished through whatever means, the wolves, natural death.
Wow.
So you had different level of shepherd. The whole point of a sheep was if you wanted to be a shepherd, was to show your level of care. How much are you going to put into the care of the sheep? So you see how being a sheep and being a shepherd wasn't easy. It wasn't like, just beat the sheep over into one corner, let them sit there and they're fine. Because as soon as you get them over here, where's the wolf going to be? He's going to be over there. Then what you got to do? You got to get him over here. You got to make sure there's no cliffs. You got to make sure there's no ditches. You got to make sure that there's good enough grazing grass. You got to make sure they don't get rained on. There was so many things you had to do being a shepherd, but what made a shepherd's job hard was the non-compliance. Now, we know we talk about animals, right? Livestock. They ain't going to comply. They can't think. They're dumb. They're dumb animals. They'll walk off a cliff.
That's right.
Us, as men and women, with the allegory of being sheep, were you supposed to be a sheep your whole entire damn life? Just walking off cliffs to your death? No. There was supposed to be some type of growth and maturity, right? But this is why you had shepherds. To show brothers and sisters how to mature in the spirit. Guide brothers and sisters on the right paths of success. Read on.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17.
Right?
For they watch for your souls
They watch for your souls. Go ahead.
as they that must give account.
Right. And who do we got to give an account to?
To the Most High.
To the Most High in Christ. To the true shepherd.
That's right.
Right? To the most. To when Yahushua comes down and said, "Did you feed my flock? Did you take care of them? Did you brush them? Did you water them? Did you make sure they didn't get rained on? They didn't get sick?" Think about it. When it rains and you can't bring your sheep out there in the rain.
That's intense.
When it's cold, you can't bring the sheep out there. The herders don't go out when it's raining or when it's cold.
Yeah.
They don't bring them out because they're susceptible to the cold. They're not like animals that have a bunch of fur, like a snow leopard, that can just go out and walk through the snow. Or they got waterproof coating, they can just move through water and it beads off their skin. You know what happened when that cold set in into that woolly hair?
Oh, it soaks up.
It soaks up. The sheep walking around heavy, it freezes. Right. So there's so much maintenance and upkeep. But us as humans, yes, we all need that also. But then what happens? There should be a transitioning period to be able to see, okay, this is important for me. Why is it important? Read on.
That they may do it with joy.
That they may what?
That they may do it with joy.
Go ahead.
And not with grief.
Yeah, who the hell wants to go report 450 out of 1,500 sheep walked off the cliff because they followed one dummy? That's all it took. One dummy walked off a cliff and the other dummies followed him.
And then whose fault is it?
Yeah, that's where. And then whose fault is that? Well, should have been watching them.
Shepherds.
Shouldn't have let them follow the dummy. That's why they say if one dummy jumps off a cliff, you're going to follow. That's where they get that from. If your friends jump off the cliff, you going to jump off the cliff? Well, if you're a blind sheep, yes, you will. Yes, you will. You won't keep your standard. You won't keep the standards of the shepherd and what he's been laying down. You'll follow the standard of the ones that came in for a quick second just to have a boys club, just to have a girls club. They came in they were bored. You'll follow them. They'll follow their nonsense. And guess what? They'll be gone and you'll be right gone with them. Finish that up.
For that is unprofitable for you.
Wait, who's it unprofitable for?
For that it is unprofitable for you.
See, it's unprofitable for the sheep for us to have to give a bad account. That means that there's a level of rebellion there, man.
Yeah.
But we ain't sheep. We're human. And we can't roll around in that sheeple. What do they call a person that just blindly follows? Sheeple. Right? Blindly follows with no type of perception of what they're doing and why. They call them sheeple. We can't be sheeple. We got to be conscious, moving in the spirit, human beings, understanding the will of the Most High and why we do what we're doing.
That is right.
Why it's important to be led for a time. Why is it important to follow the ordinances? Why is it important that rules, regulations, and standards are set in place? Go to Job 33:23. What you mean, when they fall down on the ground?
So like when you lay the sheep down before you do.
Oh yeah, they can't get up
They
because
can't get back up.
Even that it's funny. And you see all these things when you go to the slaughterhouse to go get the sheep. When they lay a sheep down on his side, guess what he can't do? He can't get himself back up to move around.
That's why it says, "Woe unto him that's left alone. When he falleth, he hath not one to pick him back up." Because that sheep, when that sheep falls,
he's just doing this, scraping at the ground. His paws, his claws, right? Those hooves, they ain't got no grip where he can just dig into the ground like that when he's on his side. If you see a real fat, thick sheep,
the fat ones and the pregnant ones, they can't get up.
They're fat and round, and they got real skinny legs, man. Their legs are real skinny. It's almost like, how does their legs hold up that body?
So then their arms don't go like this then?
No, everything goes straight. They'll kick out, but they can't get the leverage to get themselves back up. For one, because of the way their feet and their legs are, and because of their body weight.
It's like a table. When a table falls to the side,
it just rolls.
Yeah.
The heaviness is all sheep are top heavy.
Yeah.
So someone has to come. We seen it. It's funny when we went to go get some sheep for the Passover. When they lay him down, he tries to kick to get up, but it's like, okay, you're just gonna tire yourself out. And he's just sitting there doing this. And all they gotta do is hold him down with one finger. Just hold his head down. Because his body, he can't lift his body weight. So think about it. He said it perfect. Woe to him that's left alone. When he fall, there's not gonna be nobody there to pick him up. So there has to be someone there for the sheep. Read Job 33:23.
The book of Job, chapter 33, verse 23.
Read.
If there be a messenger with him.
There be a what?
A messenger with him.
Right.
An interpreter, one among 1,000.
Hey, I see that you're about to follow Joe Donut Head off the cliff. Don't follow him off the cliff. That's the wrong way to go. Don't follow him to the pit. Go ahead.
To show unto man his uprightness.
Come on.
then he is gracious unto him.
He is what?
He is gracious unto
See,
him.
the Most High, y'all want to be covered? Do y'all want to be covered? Do y'all want to be in the blood of the Most High? The covered by the blood? Well, one way he does it is by giving you messengers. One way he does it is by giving you the shepherds. It said it. Read it from the top, verse 23.
Job chapter 33, verse 23.
Go ahead.
If there be a messenger with him.
So if there is a messenger with him, go ahead. A messenger sent to you, read.
An interpreter.
Someone to interpret the things that you need to be understanding or not understanding and interpret your doings. Hey, man, I see that this is going on in your life. Look, this is what the Bible says. This is what you should do. Right? Go ahead.
One among 1,000.
1 of 1,000 is all you get.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Man.
1 in 1,000. Read.
To show unto man his uprightness.
Go ahead.
Verse 24. That he is gracious unto him.
This is grace. Read.
And saith, deliver him from going down to the pit.
You see that? This is the delivery. The deliverance from going down into the pit of lust, the pit of hate, the pit of evil suspicions. These are all pits and snares, man. The pit of, I don't know how to deal with my brother. I'm not going to follow what the Bible says. The pit of, I don't know how to orchestrate a marriage the correct way. These are all pits and snares that our people, they trip and fall and stumble. And you have the messenger, the guide. Before you fall, before the pothole, the pit even appears, it's like, hey, 15 feet up to the left, there's a pit. All you got to do is keep walking straight. So how the hell you fall into the pit? Well, because a wolf popped up or something distracted you from your path and slightly moved you over to the left. And next thing you know, you in the pit of your mire, of wishing you never fell. You didn't have to. You were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that pit can also be your own personal desires, the things that you want in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's lots of things that brothers and sisters want personally for themselves, and they don't have it. Whether it be a certain job, whether it be finances, whether it be a rib, whether it be a husband, whether it be a certain type of living situation, and they don't have it, and they let these things that they don't have trip them up. Like the things that they don't have end up being the pit for them. So in their mind, them being hungry and thirsty for these items or this affection, what that wolf can come in and say, hey, or that dude that in the kidnap van, I got some candy for you. It's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go for that because that's what you've been wanting, and you think that's that gift that the Most High might be bringing you when it's really not. It's Satan just tempting you.
Maybe it's a gift.
Yeah, Satan tempting you, and
Maybe it's a gift.
you'll get lured into it because that's what you've been wanting. But you took your eye off what the shepherd had been trying to corral your mind. Like when the shepherd says that 1 in 1,000 says, hey, focus on these things. He's taking that shepherd pole and he's like trying to turn your head this way. But when you don't want to listen to that, you want to keep going to that. Well, when he tends to this other sheep, when he turns that sheep around and you float off that way, well then you left off with your own desires. You fell into that pit because that's where you wanted to go. And then when you end up reaping the repercussions of that pit, then you want to try to limp back to the flock and say, hey, I fell down. Where were you, shepherd? It's like, well, I had steered you this way, and I went to go steer the other flock, but then I turned back around and you left off.
A man is drawn away by his own lust.
Come on.
And that's why going back, there had to be, there was the willing, when it said a willing mind, that means that you had to be in the mind that you were going to battle at all costs, whatever lusts were going to try to pull you away. The willingness was that I'm going to fight. And I'm going to fight and I'm going to fight. And am I saying that anybody's perfect? No, I'm not saying that the sheep are perfect. I'm not saying that the shepherds are perfect. But I'll say this, that no one shepherd is perfect. But when you have a shepherd at the one corner, shepherd at this corner, shepherd at this corner, shepherd at this corner, and then two in the middle of each, ain't that more perfect than just one?
That's right.
So if we bring it to our school now, you got three brothers up here. You got the three in VA.
Yep.
Plus Tahawam. That's 7 brothers.
You got 4 in VA.
Right. Well, I'm talking. Right. You got 4 here. Officer. You got 4 officers in VA. 3 here, or 4 here, 4 there. 8 brothers that, at any time when brothers and sisters are dealing with something, there's someone that's there to help keep them within the bounds, keep them within the parameters of the ordinances that's been laid down. So it's not about one man. It's about a collective. You know, the one thing I've learned is that me as a one-man person, I'm nothing with one man. I need them to be complete. I need Kazak and brothers in VA. When there's a problem that arises, it's like, hey, this is what's going on. What are we gonna do? What aspect do you have? This how I would deal with it. Well, okay, yeah, that's right. Let's add this to it. Let's add this perspective. Let's add this. Or let's take away some things and simplify it. So all these things that go into helping the sheep. It ain't a one-man band. It ain't a one-man show. Right? I know it kind of sounds like, well, y'all sound like y'all got it. Well, we do. We got one thing down that we communicate and that we counsel. Right? And those things are very key essentials to waging any war, to taking care of any sheep, any flock, communication, and counsel.
Vital.
Those are the vital essentials. That way, when things do pop up, they can be handled the right way. Right? Read verse 24.
Job chapter 33, verse 24. Then he is gracious unto him.
Right? This is the grace, man. Having shepherds and messengers. Read.
And saith, deliver him from going down to the
There's
pits.
the pit. There's no mercy in the pits. That pit is representative of death, man. So once you fall in that death, in that pit, there is no more mercy. There is no more grace. Go ahead.
I have found a ransom.
Hey, what?
I have found a ransom.
Yes, somebody got to be the ransom. Now you got to ask yourself, are you going to be that ransom?
Ooh.
Are you going to ransom your own spirit up? Or are you going to take heed to the messengers, to the counsel, to the guidance? Right? Go to Philippians 2.
That just hit me like.
I found one, B.
Yeah. So.
Oh, it ain't him? Oh, well, got enough. There's always someone waiting in the wings. Listen, there's always someone waiting in the wings to take your place in that pit.
Yeah.
Or take somebody else's place. How do you avoid the pit? Oh, let me just listen. Let me just follow. Well, there's somebody else that's going to be in the same predicament. Do I listen and follow, or do I just keep walking straight into the pit? There's always going to be a ransom.
You know, it's almost like that pit, it wasn't meant for you, but then it became meant for you.
Yeah.
So that the one that's actually following the way can be saved. Dang.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy, right?
I found the ransom. Dang.
Right?
Then, like, think about how many times where, like, a brother was telling me that somebody came up and did a drive-by on the car that was behind him. And if they would have, like, drove a little bit more shooting, they would have got his car. I found the ransom. Instead of you getting it, the guy behind you got it. And they could have mistaken the wrong white car. Think about that.
Proverb. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's like you're driving by an accident, and you seen that accident happen a minute or two ago,
And that's the way you go.
and that's the way you go. Yeah, you gotta be very circumspect to see, like, dang, that could have been me. That could have been meant for me. You know, every time you sin, right? Every time you sin, an angel is sent to kill you. The angel is sent to kill you when you sin. But that scripture said, like the scripture says, I have found a ransom. So it's like you sin, but that blood that blood, I don't want to take it too deep, but that blood through Yahweh Shai, that ransom,
Oh, take it deep.
that ransom
He's absolutely right.
is it takes the place for you.
There is a spirit sent, like he said, when you're not in your right. Watch. Go to Proverbs 21:16 real quick. Go to Proverbs 21:16.
So imagine you sin, and the Most High is like, bro, I'm tired of sending you ransoms.
I'm tired of ransoming. I'm tired of this blood.
Yeah.
I'm tired of Yahweh Shai's blood being
Trampled on.
used on you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what it is it's about keeping the standard. You know, think about it. We all fall short of the glory. We all come short of perfection. We all gonna be sinners. We all sinners, man. But you got those ones that purposefully do this. Read.
Proverbs chapter 21, verse 16.
Come on.
The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding.
Isn't that what a sheep does? They want to just wander on.
God.
They wander out of the way of understanding. Sheep don't understand why they got to stay in the confines of what the shepherd has denoted as safety. They don't understand. So they wander like, I just want to go get grass. I just want to chase my lust. I'm trying to go get them women. It's just a blunt.
Yeah.
Right? I don't get it. It's just this. It's just that. They wander out of the way of understanding to where? Go ahead.
Shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Yeah, you remain a ransom. You remain in the congregation of dead. Go from there. Go to Philippians 2.
Can I get one?
Yeah, of course.
Jeremiah chapter 22 and verse 10.
Please. I am
I got one.
fluids out.
Jeremiah chapter 22, verse 10.
Right?
Weep ye not for the dead.
It said, weep not for the dead. But why? Why shouldn't we weep for the dead? Because they ain't nothing else in this world for them to go through. Weep not for the dead. But this is who you weep for. Read on.
Neither bemoan him,
Go ahead.
but weep sore for him that goeth away.
That sheep that is led away, that sheep that is gone off into the pit, that's gone astray after their own lust, that's pulled away by the wolf, it said weep for them. Because now they're going to suffer all types of affliction. Because they didn't follow the shepherd. They didn't stay in the unity of the flock. It says weep for that one. Because they're not dependent on the circumstances. They may never come back to the flock. Not saying that they can't if they have opportunity. But in some circumstances, they don't.
That pit is unforgiving, and you may not come back from some of the things that men try to bring you into. That's what you got to understand. Those wolves, those grievous wolves, Yahweh Shai said it best. When I leave, grievous wolves will appear, and they won't spare the flock. And some of us won't be able to withstand the attack of the wolves, man. And some will. Some will be strong enough to run, hide. They'll be smart enough to move around. But some are just going to get devoured.
You know, that's something that we have to consider too, and keep in the back of our minds at all times, is that wolves will appear. It's natural.
It's biblical.
It has to happen. So, you know, you gotta be on point in your spirit and look and see. Okay, when will that wolf appear? How is he gonna appear? You know what I mean? Like,
He's gonna appear
coming from the back, coming from the side, coming from the front. Where is he coming? What is going to try to infiltrate and cause me to stop moving in the path that I've been moving in? What's going to throw me off my game? What's going to throw me out the spirit? You know, it's something that we got to consider all the time. All the time.
He's going to appear.
Because the wolf is hungry. The wolf needs to eat.
He's going to appear with fringes and a beard. She's going to appear
He's
with a
gonna
hair
say
wrap
shalom.
and a dress saying shalom, Yahweh Shematan, Yahweh Shem Yahshai.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to appear to you. That's what makes it so fun. That's what makes it fun and interesting, because they'll sit next to you.
Wolf in sheep clothing.
They'll kick it with you. They'll eat and drink with you. Don't it say that in Jude? Don't it say that?
Spots.
So ravening wolves, spots at your feast, ravening wolves. They just foaming at the mouth, man. But they hold it in. They hold in their intent. And as a sheep, as a babe in the knowledge, as new in the spirit, your only job is to survive the attack. That's your only job, is to eat, to be fed and to be led. It's your only job. That's it. That's all you're responsible for. Until you get the bearings enough to now, as a child grows, they take on more responsibility, they take on more understanding, they take on more learning. It's the same thing. Right? Read from the...
And I was gonna say, it's like you said, that's your job until you get your bearings right? So why slow the process down of getting your bearings? Why not speed that process up as fast as you can, where you can, I don't want to say stand for yourself, but you can stand confidently and know that, okay, I know what to expect. I arm myself. You know what I'm saying? And because think about it, when an animal is born, right? There's a whole bunch of predators that's watching this newborn animal be born. And it don't matter what it is. It don't matter what mammal it is. That animal has to get up on his 2 feet as fast as possible and start walking and moving with the herd as fast as possible, because if not, the herd is going to leave them. The mother will leave them.
And that's what it's about. It's about being able to walk with the herd.
Yeah.
And not get left behind. It's about being able to walk on your 2 feet next to the person with you and not be left behind. It's about being able to see what's coming in front of me, behind me, walk circumspect. That's what it boils down to with any person.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of maturing spiritually, is to be able to walk circumspect and understand, wait a minute, a wise man foresee the evil. There's going to be people that's going to come in and try to offer me different perspectives on what I've already learned, and bring different thought processes, and bring different angles, and hit me with this, and
bring their opinions.
Right, their
bring how they feel.
Pretension.
And
are you going to be ready to defend that and block that? Now check this out. Go to Philippians 2:19.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 19.
Come on.
But I trust in Yahushua to send Timotheus,
right,
surely unto you.
Right. So Paul was writing to the Philippians, saying, "Listen, I'm gonna send Timothy to y'all. Why? Timothy is my trusted shepherd, my trusted brother. He's went through all the trials and tribulations. He's fit. Timotheus fit the standard of a bishop, of a shepherd. How do we know? Well, when you go to 1 Timothy 3, he was writing to Timothy saying, listen, if you desire the office of a bishop, here's the standards. Timothy met the standards, so now Timothy's equipped to go with the Philippians. He's equipped to go here. He's equipped to go there. So he said, I trust in the Lord Yahushua to send Timotheus shortly to you. Go ahead.
That I also may be of good comfort.
Come on.
When I know your state.
When I know your state. Meaning, when Timothy, he's going to go there and give a report. Right? Have the respect for them that have the rule over you, for they give account for your soul. Paul was trying to get the account of the souls in Philippi.
That's right.
He was going to send Timothy to take the leadership, take the rulership, take the shepherdship over those people. Read.
Verse 20. For I have no man like-minded.
Say it again. Wait, what?
For I have no man like-minded.
Come on.
Who will naturally care for your state.
No man but Timothy was like-minded and cared for the estate of the people, besides Paul. Go ahead.
For all seek their own.
For all what?
Seek their own.
Those grievous wolves, man, they seek their own. Go ahead.
Not the things which are Yahushua, Hamashiach.
And what are the things that belong to Yahushua? Well, stay where you're at, and I'll read it. Feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not of filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but to be an examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, you shall receive the crown. So the things that belong to Yahweh Shai are the sheep. Read on.
Verse 22. But ye know the proof of him.
So you know him. He's been proven. Go ahead.
That, as a son with the Father,
Go ahead.
he hath served with me in the gospel.
So Paul was pointing out the obedience of Timothy and that he was equipped to lead the flock. He was going to be the messenger that was going to give the account, and he was going to be the brother pulling people from the pit. He was going to be taking them away from that ransom estate, right? And giving them life. What I'm bringing out with brothers and sisters needing to be led and needing to be willing to give up, not by constraint, but willingly to the ordinances and to the shepherdship.
That's
and
right.
be willing to be led that way. Paul already did it. It ain't nothing new. He's saying it right here. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 23.
Right?
Him therefore I hope to send presently,
Right?
so soon as I shall see how it will go with me.
Go ahead.
But I trust in the Lord, that I also myself shall come shortly.
Read verse 25.
Verse 25. Yet I suppose it necessary to send to you Apocrypha,
Right?
my brother,
Right?
and companion in labor,
Come on.
and fellow soldier,
Read.
but your messenger,
Read.
and he that ministered to my wants.
Right. But your messenger and he that ministereth to my wants. Right? Jump down to verse 28.
Verse 28. I sent him therefore the more carefully,
Right?
that when ye see him again,
Uh-huh.
ye may rejoice,
Uh-huh.
and that I may be the less sorrowful.
Read.
Verse 29. Receive him therefore in the Lord with all gladness,
Uh-huh.
and hold such in reputation.
Right. What was Paul trying to establish in the minds of the people? That I'm going to send you these proven men. These dudes weren't some fly-by-nights. They weren't just some random offshoots like, hey, I got this dude I'm going to send to y'all. You know, I met him at the Home Depot. When I was walking in, he said he can do floors. And I just grabbed him up to go do y'all's floor. Nah, man. Paul had guys that, listen, me and him, we did floors together for years. Mm-hmm. Me and him was building together. He's a fellow laborer, fellow soldier, like-minded. This wasn't some cat. These brothers weren't people that Paul met just randomly and then sent them to the people to just be ran through and ransacked and misused. Go ahead. Man, spider.
Verse 30.
Hold on. Go.
Because for the work of Yahushai,
Right?
he was nigh unto death, not regarding his life,
Right?
to supply your lack of service.
Wait, go ahead.
Toward me.
Wait, read that one more time.
Because for the work of Yahushai,
Not for filthy lucre or for gain, but read it one more time.
he was nigh unto death, not regarding his life,
Read it from the top. Verse 30.
because for the work of Yahushai.
Because for money.
Because for the work of
Because he
Yahushai.
just left telling people what to do.
Because for the work of Yahushai,
Read.
he was nigh unto death.
Right? He took it to death, man. He was ready to go. Go ahead.
Not regarding his life,
Right? Because it wasn't about his gain. Read.
to supply your lack of service toward me.
Right. He was there to supply, to minister. Go to Second Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians. Wow. 2:15.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 15.
You got to see it, man. Paul was having to write to the Hebrews, to the people in Thessalonica, the people in Philippi, the people what else did we read? Hebrews, the Corinthians. He was having to give the same message to all of them, man.
Yeah.
Why? Because just like sheep ready to walk off a cliff, all these people were ready to just follow the wrong examples.
Okay.
They were ready to walk off the cliff with the first bonehead that started moving. Oh, well, he's walking. Let me see what's up. Right? Go ahead, read on.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 15.
Right?
Therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the traditions.
Hold the what?
Hold the traditions.
Read.
Which ye have been taught.
Come on.
Whether by word or our epistle.
Right, whether by word or by the things that are written. He said, hold the traditions. Now, what are some of the things that, when it comes to standard, Israelites fail at? Who can think of something?
How to be fathers. How to be men for the community.
Right? How to be a man. Right? What else? I mean, there's overall a lot of different things
That we feel.
that we when there's a standard already established, and we're like, yeah, I ain't gonna do that. Aren't there standards in relationships? Aren't there standards on even how to go about to procure a relationship? There are. There are standards.
Even in the world.
Nah, the world ain't got no standards. I'm talking about Israelite standards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about in the world. It's like, oh, we just talking, but we having sex, and she's talking to somebody else. There's an Israelite standard on how to go about in relationships. There's an Israelite biblical standard on how to deal with offenses.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for instance, it said, therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the traditions which ye have been taught. Did it say the law? Somebody look up the word tradition. And what we have to understand is that traditions and laws are different.
Tradition.
Right, what you got?
Delivery, the act of delivering.
The act of delivering,
Into the hands of another.
That's it?
No, a deed takes effect only from the tradition or delivery. The delivery of opinions, doctrines, practices, rites, and customs
Okay.
from father to son or from ancestors to prosper.
So I do stand
Posterity.
corrected from ancestors to posterity. So basically, old generation, new generation. So I stand corrected. When you go by that definition, our laws are our traditions, right? But there were some things that were not written in the law that they were handed down as tradition to keep all parties honest and keep things civil and keep things working the right way. You know, and I think I said it earlier. How long does the Bible say that a man should betroth a woman?
It doesn't.
It don't. What was the tradition though? Who was here when I went over that class of the Hebrew custom of marriage? I think you were here. Were you? No, you weren't here. Were you here? No, you definitely weren't here. You weren't here. I did that over a year ago. Yeah. But I went over this Hebrew custom of marriage and what the custom of how we customarily married and got into marriages. And one of the things that stood out to me, and one of the standouts, was when you look up that word betroth or betrothal, it told you that customarily or traditionally it was about a year. But not just because somebody wanted it to be a year, there was a year period to be able to figure out, hey, are we going to be compatible? Hey, are we going to be able to deal? Hey, is this going to work? And why do I bring that up? Well, because going with the topic, if you got grievous wolves that are circling the pack, that are circling the sheep, and one grievous wolf's mind is, I'm going to get all the women I can. What is he not worried about?
The flock.
Well, obviously, he's not worried about the flock. What'd you say, sis?
He's not that worried about that one. He's
True, but he's not worried about holding on to any tradition. He's not worried about, hey, let me do what is proper. Let me do what's proper and do things the right way so that my relationship could last. He's just like, well, the Bible says if you lay hold on a woman, right? So does that mean that you lay hold on her and just sleep with her right there in the middle of the market? Like, is that what we're doing? You're mine. And we lay with them right there in front of everyone? Of course not. Of course not, right? Of course not. There was traditions and there was things that were handed down, and a lot of things are lost because it doesn't say thou shalt not. Because a grievous wolf, you know what they're also good at? Being hypocrites. They're good at being hypocritical. So they're like, well, there's no law on that.
No law, no transgression.
Right? It don't say, show me in the book of Moses where it says I got to betroth a woman for a year. Well, when you take the oversight of the flock, your understanding has to go into, now I have the law, I have the understanding of the law, now here's the wisdom. It don't say that. You're absolutely right, grievous wolf. It don't say that. And this is the problem, because on the other flip side, you have the weak ass sheep that falls to that. They fall to that grievous wolf. Why? Because they disannul the shepherd. They disannul, no, wait a minute, let me show you, sheep. This is how you got to move. But the wolf came in, snatched him up, hit him with the, you mine now? And that's why we have, we lay down like school rules and laws, right? Because we can do that. We can say, look, this is the school rule. One of our school rules is, if a sister walked in here right now, no one could talk to her. She got to be in class consistently for 6 months, right? Before she could even get a shalom. Well, not a shalom, but you know what I mean. A shalom, sis. Hey, shalom, sis. But a shalom, sis. She had to be here 6 months, right? For brothers to be able to deal with her. Any brother, as long as she's single. Right now, does it say that in the Bible? 6 months?
No.
Nah, it don't say that. It don't say that. But that's the rule. Why? Why do we have to make a rule of that? Why?
Well, the reason why rules are instituted is because people have done it in the past to where everything, like they do things out of order. So in the sense of like, all right, a new sister to walk in, you can have 100 men going after that one sister, and the sister's gonna be like bombarded with confusion and all this extra stuff.
Right. She don't know. She hasn't learned anything according to why she's here. That's one. Two, you got the ones that aren't even a part of the body.
Yeah.
That pop in for class once every 80 years, look around, and they're like, their radar goes up. Whose rib is that? Whose rib is that? Like, and they got the nerve to ask brothers, like, man, whose rib is that in the back? Like, does it matter? You don't come to class, what you asking for? Right? It don't matter whose rib that is. Every sister in here is married. That's how I hit any bro that does that. I'm like, every sister in here is married. So, what you here for? And you'll know, because what happens is they won't come back.
Yeah.
They won't come back. They be like, well, I don't want to commit adultery to get one. I just wanted to get an easy target. Someone that lacked a little bit of understanding, someone that was new, right? Do my business and roll. Go to Acts real quick. 20:29.
Book of Acts chapter 20. Verse 29.
No?
For I
Read
know.
verse 28.
Acts chapter 20, verse 28. Take heed therefore unto yourselves
Come on.
and to all the flock,
Right?
over which the Holy Spirit hath made you overseers,
Read.
to feed the church of the Most High,
Come on.
which he hath purchased with his own blood.
Read on.
For I know this,
Right?
that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you.
Right. And these grievous wolves, man, they're coming for their own agenda. You got men that come into congregations trying to sew old cloth on new garments. Trying to put new wine in old bottles. Meaning what? They come in not with the mind that I'm an empty vessel willing to learn. No, I'm going to come in and I'm going to hold on to what I believe is book. I know y'all teach that the Hispanics is part of the Israelites, Hispanics, Native Indians, but deep down in my spirit, I don't believe that. But I'm going to sit here with y'all, right? I'm going to sit here with y'all. I'm going to be upset, contentious, mad about it, fight back and forth.
Yep.
And I'm going to affect the flock around me. Watch, read on. It says it. I'm not making this up. Read.
Verse 30.
Bring it out.
Also of your own selves shall men arise.
Shall men do what?
Arise.
Come on.
Speaking perverse things.
They're going to do what?
Speaking perverse things.
Yeah, so it's not just men that newly came in, but you got bros that'll sit around, sisters that'll sit around for years. And all of a sudden, they lay dormant. It's like sleeper cells, man. They got the whole wolf's garment. They've been picking up the pieces that the shepherd been shearing off the wolves and gluing it on to themselves and making themselves appear.
You mean sheep?
Right, the sheep. Wolf in sheep's clothing. Said, men will arise. Read on.
Verse 31. Therefore watch and remember.
No, read verse 30.
Verse 30. Also of your own selves shall men arise.
Right.
Speaking perverse things.
Come on.
To draw away disciples.
Do what?
To draw away disciples.
They want to do what?
To draw away disciples.
Not just disciples. They want to draw away women. They want to draw away weak niggas. They're looking for someone to follow them.
Come.
And what is the shepherd there doing? The shepherd is like, hold up. You going to follow that? Hold on, wait. Don't you see that the understanding ain't there? Don't you see that the balance ain't there? Don't you see that the discernment, the discretion, the senses being exercised is not there with this person? You want to be his disciple? Oh, snap. Really? Okay, well, we warned you. Okay, well, we told you. You want to follow him into that pit? You want to follow her into that pit? It's too many times, man, that you got these brothers, man, from off the damn street. Street niggas. I'm going to call them what they are. Street niggas. Niggas with fringes. Niggas with fringes, man. Acting like they give a damn about our people. And they'll pop around from school to school and trying to pull the women. Women, and you got women that do it too. They'll pop around school to school looking for the first dumb nigga that falls to them. And we warn, right? Do we not? We warn. You got brothers that'll pop from school to school. Why? Because they don't know how to settle grievances with the next man, right? Because another fall, it ain't just relationships and betrothal and all that. It's simple things like, hey, I got a problem with a brother, or a brother made me feel a certain way. Let me deal with that. But what happens? No, I ain't gonna call him. I'm gonna hit everybody else up first around the situation, drag everyone else into it, make it more than what it is. Yep. And then by the time I'm ready to deal with this man, it's already been jumbled up with a bunch of hands and thoughts. Yep. And what you should have did here, and you should have did this here. And what happens? Now there's the misconception. Now there's the evil suspicions. Tension, contention. It's all these things that were unnecessarily, they didn't need to be there. Yep. Right? But grievous wolves don't give a damn about what like the scriptures say, it says about disquieting friends. Yeah. Give me that one. They don't care about disquieting friends. Yeah, it's in the Apocrypha. Like a sinful man, an evil man, disquiet friend.
Disquieted them that be at peace.
Them that be at peace. Yeah. Let's see here. Where verse you at?
Verse 30. That was the end of verse 30.
Right.
Acts
Read
chapter
on.
20. Acts chapter 20, verse 31. Therefore watch and remember
28:9. Go ahead.
that by the space of 3 years I
Right,
see.
that's it on that. So men are going to arise, sleeper cells, dormant, right? Sitting back, disgruntled, not agreeing with anything, but there for their own gain. Well, I need somewhere to go on the weekend, so let me go be with them brothers. I know we don't agree, but I need somewhere to be at. Man, take your ass to church.
I need to congregate.
Go to church, man. We don't need to congregate with that. But that's their mind, right? We need to congregate. I need somebody to congregate with. I need somebody to fellowship with. That's not fellowship. That's not congregating. Paul said to congregate in the same mind, same judgment, speaking the same things. So once you figure out that you don't agree, get the hell on. But you know why they won't? Because they're here for their agenda. Watch. Read Ecclesiasticus.
What is the
28 and 9.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 28, verse 9.
Right?
A sinful man disquieteth friends.
He does what?
Disquieteth friends.
Go ahead.
And maketh debate among them
Go
that
ahead.
be at peace.
Yeah, they come in, like the scriptures say, they crept in unawares, false brethren. They crept in to disquiet the ones that are at peace. They come to steal your peace.
Yes.
We're sitting here trying to, hey, listen, this is how you be at peace, brother. This is how you be at peace, sis. And they come in and drag you into their damn soap opera ass life. They drag you right back into the world. Why? Because it's a nigga with fringes. It's a harlot with a hair wrap.
And the worst part is that, you come off the street, and you come into the truth looking for that righteousness and that peace and that safety, and you think that you found it.
Because he said shalom.
And then it ends up being worse than if you were
in the world.
In the world.
It's worse than if you were in the world.
Yeah.
Because he said shalom, and because, sis, the Most High said. Everything that he start out with is, man, the Bible said, the Most High said, the Most High, Yah. Everything he start with is the Most High. Everything she start with is shalom, me Lord. Shalom.
All the music is Hebrew music.
Shalom, Lord. Right. He's just super rude. Right?
Yeah.
But guess what? His left arm is real heavy because he ain't got no balance. He ain't got no balance, man. She ain't got no balance. Why? Because her outward appearance is shalom, me Lord. But deep down inside, she's a wolf. She's a ravening, raving bitch, man. Why? Because she ain't learned nothing. She just ready to pop to every man that looks righteous. Trying to destroy spirits. Trying to disquiet friends.
Kind of like that Proverbs one that said,
a whore is a deep ditch.
Well, that one? But no, not that one.
Oh.
But she bestows amongst the simple ones.
Right.
Right. Just that wolf. He comes through to find that one woman, that one man that's void of understanding.
Yep.
That didn't want to get what the shepherd was trying to lay down. Didn't want to understand. Didn't want to counsel. Didn't want to receive the knowledge. And they're easy picking for that wolf.
Easy pickings. That's why there has to be a standard. That man creates. Not that I made up like, yo, this is my standard.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because without this book, I'm just like anybody else. I'm filthy. Dirty. Disgusting. I'm filthy. So,
You have a question?
Oh, sis, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And speaking of what you were just talking about, is that like when the man who was lame at the Gate of Beautiful and Christ healed him, and then later on he saw the man still, is that the same one? Still there in the same city, and he told him to go and sin no more. So it's like he was still among the people who were the sick. I forget, is that what he was?
Wait,
At the pool
when he laid him up, when he was at the pool
he was at the pool, right?
for a while, and then he healed him.
Right, he healed him, but he still stayed in, the area with all the people who were still sick. Is that the same? Is that kind of like?
I would have to read. What You know what chapter or verse you're referring to? I'd have to read it. And referring to what though, as far as what?
In saying that after you say that you're healed or you're better or you deliver, but you still stay among the sick, you're basically worse now because you're doing worse than what you did before because now you know better.
Yeah, I mean, once you get healed and are pulled away from any type of pollution, it wouldn't be smart. That's why the scriptures say the sow, it's a true proverb, the sow returns to his mire. The dog returns to his vomit.
It also says it'd be better if you had not known the way of truth.
Right. So, yeah, once you were healed, you were supposed to go your way and do the works that are opposite of what you did before. You see that? I wanted to go somewhere. Where was I going? Go to Judges. This is why there has to be standards, man. And rules and regulations and ordinances. Again, not that I created, not that Kazakia created, not that Lakarab, Shaddai, Zion created. It ain't what we created. Because what I create is easy. Leave me the hell alone. Go do what the hell you want. That's the scripture I would write if I had a chance. Oh, after the first time you didn't hear nothing? Oh, well, you know what? Peace, my nigga. Go do you. Do you 1 verse 1. That would be my ordinance. You see the book of Quadazab, do you be gone. Chapter 1 verse 1. That'll be it. That'll be it. My things would be like, if you don't hear it, he that don't hear must feel. Right?
Don't hear it, must feel.
Right, a hard head make a soft ass. Those are the things that I would be saying in my book. If I had ordinances.
He that doesn't hear must feel it.
Must feel it.
Right?
Right?
Heal it.
Yeah, bro. Those would be mine. But fortunately, they're not. So we go here, right, to get a better way. So they're not invented by me, because if they were, listen, it'd be cold. It'd be cold, man. But it's not my way, thank God. It's not man's way. This is the way of the Most High, man. There's a reason why these things are pointed out in the scriptures, because they're going to happen until Yahweh Shai comes. But the brothers and sisters that are learning, that are new in the word, you got to be aware of what's going on. You have to be aware of that. You have to be aware that there is someone lurking either next to you. Shalom, brother. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Boom, boom, boom. He give you the pound, the biggest hug. Or there's somebody on the outskirts waiting for you to slip up.
Yep.
They might be on their way out, and you're on your way in, and you cross paths. Oh man, you know, I do this, I do such and such. Oh yeah, you do that, man. I might need your services. And next thing you know, you go deal with that mind, and you get in conversations, and what happens? It says they rise up and pull you away to be their disciple. Next thing you know, you're following their garbage ass method, their lack of standard.
Yep.
That's what they pull you into. Why? Well, and why standard has to be given is because we don't know what standard is until it's shown. Watch, read Judges 17:6. We don't know what a standard is. We don't know what a true standard is until it's shown, man. That's why a standard always, even in war, he said, I will raise up my standard. It has to be raised up. Yeah, those ain't yours. Go ahead.
The book of Judges, chapter 17, verse 6.
Come on.
In those days,
Right
there was no king
Right.
in Yasharala.
What does a king represent to the people? What is he? Is he not the standard? Is he not the epitome of how things should go? Yahweh Shai is our king, right? Is he not? The ordinances, the standard, the law. He's the shepherd. He's the epitome. The king represented the epitome of this is the standard.
Right.
If he was a righteous man, obviously. If he ruled righteous, he was the standard of righteousness. David, standard of righteousness. Wow. Solomon, standard of righteousness. Even Saul, who wasn't so righteous, he was supposed to be that standard that the people can look to and say, oh, okay, he's going to judge matters correctly. He's going to do things the right way. He's going to hold the traditions of the Most High. He's not going to take the things that we need for himself, use us and abuse us. He's not going to take all our wives as confectionaries. He's not going to take all our horses. He's not going to multiply all the gold. He's going to have a standard. But see, when you out in the world, you have no king. You are the king, right?
Yeah.
You are the God, right? You are the ruler. You are the head. You're the head of your own regime. So how do you think? Read on.
But every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
See, and that's how every man's going to operate until they're shown. You're going to do what's right in your own eyes. For example, you have men that teach that anal sex is okay. You have no children in here, right? No. But they teach that anal sex is okay because that's right in their own eyes. They're not looking at the standards of Christ. You got the weedalites. Well, I don't see what's wrong with smoking ganja. It gets me into the third dimension level plane, and I can see Christ more clearly. Well, that's their standard. Is it right? Thank you. Is it right? No. You got the ones, again, that, well, I can sleep with all of them because the Bible says I can have more than one, so I can just grab them up and they're all mine. I don't got to teach them. I don't got to be an actual man. I don't got to follow 1 Timothy 3, right? I don't have to be a husband of a first wife because I can have several. I don't have to be like what Paul said about Timotheus and what was the other brother's name?
It was a hard name. Herodotus. Yeah.
Where they were proven as fellow laborers and fellow soldiers. They were proven as good men. They were proven that they were going to shore up and bring to the people the things that were needed for the spirit. I don't got to do that because I live according to my, what do they say? Be the drummer to your own beat. I walk to the beat of my own drum.
Yeah.
So you just Nick Cannon just walking around to the beat of your own drum. But what if your drum is beating anal sex, marijuana, hate, lust, hypocrisy? That's what a lot of niggas' drums be beating. That's what the rhythm is. Pride, hate, anal, kush. It's like, what the hell? What beat are you rocking to? What drum are you beating? It's real. Like, what the? Come on. Fringes with saggy pants. Hypocrisy. It's like, come on, man. Because the world tells you to do that, right? Walk to the beat of your own drum. Where we're supposed to be walking like Yahweh Shai. Whatever beat he rode, you're supposed to be trying to ride that wave.
That's right.
Paul, he rode like Yahweh Shai. Timothy, Titus, all these men, Barnabas, they all roll like who? Like the example. They all roll like the ordinance, right? They all roll like the standard, like the tradition. Right? Where you at?
I just finished Judges chapter 17, verse 8.
2 Peter's 3:1. Time is it? Damn. Right on time.
Come on.
Go ahead.
The book of 2 Peter's chapter 3, verse 1.
Read.
This second epistle, beloved,
Right?
I now write unto you,
Come on.
in both which I stir up your pure minds,
Come on.
by way of remembrance.
Right? See? Go ahead, read.
Verse 2. That ye may be mindful of the words that were spoken before by
Mindful of the ordinances. Come on.
the holy prophets.
Come on.
And of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior.
Read on.
Verse 3. Knowing this first,
Why do you have to be mindful? Knowing this first. Read.
that there shall come in the last days scoffers.
There what?
Shall come in the last days scoffers.
What else?
Walking after their own lusts.
Yeah, they don't care about you. They're not shepherds, they're scoffers. Not doing the will of the Most High, but doing their own will. They're the opposite of a shepherd.
One that mocks, reproaches, contempt, scorner,
Contempt.
walking after their own lust.
Walking after, what else? Ugh.
That was pretty much.
Walking after their own lust. They're in it for the filthy lucre, the dirty money,
scorns,
the babes,
Praise of men.
the praise of men, vainglory. They're in it just to fellowship. I just want to fellowship, congregate. They're in it just to be in it. But is it to be in it just to be in it? No, you got to be in it with the right purpose. You got to walk, like Paul said, you got to walk the right way. You got to run your course the right way, or else you'll lead others, man.
But you know, when you look at it, you can't be a part of any organization, and not saying that this is a organization, right?
Right.
But
it is, because we're organized.
Yeah, it is. But
Yeah.
you know,
That's
when you look at like the organizations in the world, whether it's your job, the military, sports, groups, clubs, whatever it is, you can't be how you are and do what you feel. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? You can't go to a job and just be how you want to be at that job. It doesn't work like that. You get fired. You can't be in the military and be how you want to be. You can't even have your hair the way
You get discharged.
you'll get discharged. You can't be on a team and be a certain type of way. You get cut. You don't get playing time, you get benched, you get cut. You can't, you know, there's a lot of things there's a lot of groups, organizations, or whatever you may call it. When you look at it in the world, you can't, even if you look at your family, you can't even really be a certain type of way with your family. Because look, we are the way of the scriptures, right? And what does our family do? They don't want nothing to do with it. You know, unless you're lucky like Ricardo, but I mean like Yashikar, but our family, they don't want to be a part of how we are with the scriptures. So even with your family, you have to be a certain type of way. So why would you think that you can come to serve the Most High
How you want.
how you want? It don't work like that.
There's not a way that pleases him. Yeah, you know the coolest part about it? The ones that, I'll let you come in, the ones that never want to follow and conform to anything, they be the ones that want their whole family on lockdown and they want them to walk perfectly in their way. Mm-hmm. Like, man, she's rebellious. Like everything she's rebellious, or they're rebellious, or she's off. But what about your rebellion? What about your offness? It's hypocritical, man. It's hypocritical BS where you want to be followed, but you never took the time to follow. You never took the time to, like he said in Peter's, remember the ordinances, right? Remember the history. Be mindful of the words which were spoken unto you. You so quick to disannul the words, but you want to be a leader. You want to be followed. You want to be admired. You want to be held in admiration. And think that that's the spirit. That's not the spirit. That's not the spirit of the Most High. Paul had to wait his turn. Mm-hmm. Titus, Timothy, Barnabas, the 12 apostles. Everyone had to wait. David, they all had to wait their turn, man. And they have to, but think about it. Would David be accounted for anything if he wasn't a good shepherd? No. Him being a good shepherd is what let the Most High know that he was going to be an excellent king. That's why Samuel was justified in saying, the Lord has found a neighbor of yours that is better than you. Saul was a whack shepherd. What was Saul's mission? He was sent out to go find sheep that were lost. His father's sheep that were lost. Right? Okay, so what is that telling you? David said, I had sheep, I didn't lose none. Mm-hmm. Yahushua said, I had sheep, I didn't lose none. Mm-hmm. Right? Let's go to Psalms 119:26. These are the things that happen when you walk according to your own standard, man. When you disannul the standards that have been laid down in righteousness and in actual objectiveness. I love that word, objectiveness. Meaning, it's not an agenda. It's not my agenda. It's not his agenda. This is the agenda of the Most High. Okay. So the objectiveness through the Most High, when you disannul that and say, yeah, I don't want to follow that. Read Psalms 119 and verse 9.
Psalms chapter 119, verse 9.
Read.
Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way?
Psalms 119:26.
Psalms chapter 119, verse 26.
Read.
I have declared my ways.
Psalms 119 and 126. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Read.
The book of Psalms chapter 119, verse 126.
Come on.
It is time for thee
119. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's it.
It is time for thee, Lord,
Right?
to work.
Yeah, the Most High is about to put in work. And it's not like, oh, he's working in my favor, covered. Won't he do it? He's going to send those evil messengers. He's going to send those ones to buffet you. And it ain't going to be the grace. Oh, let the righteous might be of your kindness. This is going to be that ass whooping that a lot of us can't come back from. Read it one more time.
Psalm chapter 119, verse 126.
Come on.
It is time for thee, Lord,
Right?
to work.
Read.
For they have made void thy law.
Go to Isaiah 42 and 13. Yeah, man, when we void out the counsel, when we void out the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the shepherdship, when you void that out of your life and say, oh, that's not necessary, the Most High puts in a work opposite of what you want. And usually that work is what? It's real easy. What is that work? What is that work? What is he making sure does not happen? Go to Galatians 6.
The book of Galatians chapter 6.
Go to Galatians 6 and 7.
The book of Galatians chapter 6, verse 7.
Right?
He that deceived,
Come on.
the Most High is not mocked.
Yeah, he's making sure that his work is going to make sure. His work is to not let you make him a mockery. So what is he going to do? Read on.
For whatsoever a man soweth,
What you put out there, read.
that shall he also reap.
He's going to make sure that you reap what you sow.
That's right.
That's going to be the works. And if you sow to the flesh, if you're going to reap death, right?
Right.
You sow to the spirit, you're going to reap life everlasting. You sowing to the filthy lucre, you're sowing to gain, you're sowing to contention, you're going to reap contention. If that's what your life is about, that's what you're going to get. If your life is about creeping in and creeping out, being a grievous wolf, you're going to get what grievous, you're going to die the death of a wolf. You're going to die a wolf's death. Go ahead. Jump back to Isaiah 42:13.
The book of Isaiah chapter 42, verse 13.
No. Read on in Galatians. I'm sorry.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 8. For he that soweth to his flesh for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
And a lot of bros, a lot of sisters are already reaping that corruption. They're moving around in that corruption, and what they're trying to do is taint others. They're trying to draw others to them because misery loves company. It's our jobs as shepherds to point out the ones that walk disorderly, the ones that walk not as we walk. It's our job to point that out and say, look, watch out for that. Watch out for that. It's the sheep's job, the young in the spirit, the beginners. It's your job to adhere to what's being said.
That's right.
Not be inquisitive like, oh, well, they say he was off. Let me go see how off he really is.
Let me go find out
Let me go find out why. Like, what the hell? You'll get swallowed up. Listen, you know why it's so easy to talk on? Because we've seen it. I seen it. We done told brothers, sisters, nah, sis, don't do it, sis. Don't deal with him. He ain't ready. A few kids later, she's just a baby mama by herself. We ain't supposed to have baby mamas in the truth. That's my point. She's a baby mama. Back in the world as a baby mama. Looked at as a baby mama. Living the single woman's life. He's back to puffing ganja and promoting Gucci because that's what he learned somehow. That's all that was attained through the spirit. Pump her up with babies and go chase Gucci belts because that's going to show that I made it. No, sis, don't deal with him. No, he ain't ready yet. Nah, bro, this is what you should be doing. Keep your mind straight. Come on, huh? I hear you. I love that one. I hear you,
I hear you.
Come, brother, you're right. And if I'm right, why don't you just listen? But you reap what you sow. You sow to the flesh, the muscles, all that stuff got you enamored, infatuated with love, and you fell
With lust.
with lust. But when you sow that, that's what you reap, man. Nah, bro, don't go for that one. She ain't ready yet. Y'all just met. Give her some time. Take a year. Get to know her. Come on, but the Bible says when you lay hold on them, the Bible don't talk about no betrothal period. You're right, brother, but just through wisdom and experience, take as much time as you can, because she might got some demons on her that you can't handle, and that time period is going to let you know. No, I got this. Come on, brother. Damn, I should have listened. That's where they come. Damn, bro, you were right. I should have listened, dog. Well, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I should know my voice.
Now you got to deal with the consequences of your act. That's what we're trying to help brothers and sisters avoid. Read on.
But he that sowed to the Spirit
Right?
shall of the Spirit
Right?
reap life everlasting.
Yeah, you sow into the Spirit, man. We're just going to keep exhorting that and pushing that. But if we sit back and look and it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's all carnal. The gym is cool, but you ain't got to sit in the gym 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. You create an extra day for the gym. Like, I got to go on the 8th day.
8 days.
We got 8 days of gym. Gotta get the reps up. And we sit back like, hey, we get it. You trying to get pumped up. Your chest is getting big. Abs is looking good. Quadriceps on point. But what's your spirit looking like? Because your rib is at home suffering, right? She's at home needing to be taught and guided, but all your time is in the gym.
Okay.
Hey, cut some of that gym time. Make sure that you're at the house. Teach your rib. Get her on point. That way when the time comes, she'll be able to maneuver like the other sisters in the Spirit. Come on, brother. But there's no scripture that says I don't need to be. It's always a battle. There's no scripture that says. You're right, but through experience, the scriptures do say bodily exercise profit a little, and what are we supposed to be giving ourselves to? The Spirit. Come on, but okay, you know what? Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and get big. You get your muscles up. Do all you got it, bro. Right?
Right.
A year later, where's she at? Damn, I should have listened. Man, I should have taught her when I had the chance. Man, now she's a demon. Got me on child support. Yada, 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 yada. I mean, we seen it all. Seen it all. That's the work of the Most High, though. Jump to Isaiah 42:13. Let's end it.
A lot of things that should have been avoided. That was
Could have
brought,
been, yeah.
That was brought upon, not for suffering for the Most High sake, but it was brought upon by your own doings.
Yeah.
And by you just not listening.
That's why in Psalms 122.
Life changing and life and detrimental things.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you good. That's why in Psalms 122 he said, "Turn ye at my reproof." He said, I've called and you have not answered. That's why when your desolation come like a whirlwind, he said, I'll laugh at your calamities, man. I get a little chuckle when I hear certain things. Damn, it sucks. I gotta stop doing that, because I laugh every time you laugh.
No, like I laughed at that person that woke up in the incinerator at the funeral.
It was the way you laughed, though.
This is the way you laugh. That was a laugh that like no compassion laugh.
Yeah.
Read where you at.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 13.
Come on.
The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man.
Right?
He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war.
Listen, he's the Most High. His work is to go on the war path against the ones that ain't listening. He's going to go on the war path.
That's right.
Read.
He shall cry.
He shall what?
He shall cry.
Come on.
Yea, roar.
He going to roar like that lion. Go ahead.
He shall prevail against his enemy.
Come on. Because that's what you're looked at now. As an enemy. You're either with the Most High or you're not. It ain't no like in between. He said either you're hot or you're cold. If you're lukewarm, you're gone. So either you're going to listen and follow, or you're not going to be with me. You're going to be over here. Moses said it. If you with the Lord, stand on this side. If you with them, stand on that side. He didn't halfway swallow up a few people. Like, I'm going to swallow up a little bit of them because they was on the fence. Nah. Bro, every man pull out his sword and thrust through your neighbor.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't partly stab them like,
Just
he's
cut
on,
him.
he's on the fence. Let me just cut him on the arm. Nah, they was dead. Read.
Verse 14. I have a long time holding my peace.
See, the Most High, he's holding his peace. Why? Because we're the ones talking. See, we're the ones talking. We're the ones saying, hey, brother, hey, sister, come on. Let's do it. Don't do that. Follow this. The Most High is holding his peace. Right? He's holding back his destruction. Why? Because he's sending that messenger. He's sending that messenger out. He's sending back that grace. Go ahead.
I have been still and refrained myself.
From what? From whooping you severely. But now read.
Now will I cry like a travailing woman?
You see, like a travailing woman? When one minute is pain and she got rest, then it's pain and she got rest, and it's pain and she got rest, and it's coming. How many centimeters dilated? Only 4? Got a whole nother, 6 centimeters, and it's all pain and rest and pain. That's how the destruction comes for these people. They get a little bit of ease, but then the Most High is like, nope, make this happen in your life. Dang, I'll never get no break. Yeah, you do. You're like a travailing woman.
Wow.
It just gets worse and worse as time goes on. Go ahead.
I will destroy
I will do what?
I will destroy and devour at once.
And that's what's going to happen to those, the ones that fail to want to keep a standard, to the ones that come in trying to lead people away from the standard. Got to be conscious of what's happening. We got to be aware. You brothers and sisters, the scriptures say you got to take heed to yourselves, man. Know what's good for yourself and give that unto it. You know, we have to be aware. So, with that, is there any questions?
There was one that was online that had said,
Did we-
it's debate sin.
Is debating sin? No, it's not sin. It's not sin up until a certain point. It tells you that Paul, he went through and debated.
Yeah.
Right? He went through, was debating people to the face, fiercely, right? But what was he debating with? His own words? He debate a lot of the times, because you got brothers that they debate online. Let's debate this topic. Now, where it gets sinful, go to Romans. Go to Romans 14:1. Where it gets out of hand is where now we're arguing, and now I want to slap you, now I want to kill you, now I want to fight you because I don't want to listen to your opinion or because I don't like.
But not to doubtful
When
disputations.
it becomes a disputation, we're going back and forth, and now you just, everything out of whack. You're doubtful, I'm doubtful. Doubtful disputations, man. To the point where it's just, it's all doubt. You're not trying to get no type of understanding. You're not trying to listen to anything. You're not trying to get it at all. Paul disputed. They say he disputed in the synagogues, right? Let me get one of those real quick. And they say he didn't just dispute. He was fierce. He was ferocious with it. Right? Go to and what was he disputing? No, go to Acts 19.
God.
Let's see here. It was this was Barnabas. Go ahead. Go to Acts 9:27. Oh no, this was Barnabas. Yeah, he took Paul. Acts 9:26. Sorry.
The book of Acts chapter 19 verse 26.
Right.
And when Saul was come to Jerusalem, he essayed to join himself to the disciples.
Right.
But they were all afraid of him and believed not that he was a disciple.
Right.
But Barnabas took him and brought him to the apostles.
Right.
And declared unto them how he had seen the Lord in the way, and that he had spoken to him, and how he had preached boldly at Damascus in the name of Yahushua.
See, he was in the name of Yahushua. Go ahead.
And he was with them coming in and going out at Jerusalem.
Right?
And he spake boldly in the name of the Lord Yahushua and disputed against the Grecians.
Read.
But they went about to slay him.
Right. So Paul disputed, when you go to Acts 17 and 17, therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons and in the markets daily with them that met with him. So there is, yes, we can debate. Why do we stay away from debates and going back and forth? Because there's already people that do that. That's not our forte, and we know where that debate goes, man. It turns into where no one's being edified.
Yeah.
When you watch a lot of these debates online, ain't no edification, man. Ain't nobody learning. It's, oh, I have more information than you. I won. Shalom. Who got edified? So, we stay away from that. Is it a sin? No. It's not a sin, else Paul would have been in sin. But when it gets to a certain level now where it did get sinful, they want to kill him. They want to kill him for what he was bringing out. So we stay away from the debating. We stay away from the disputing. Because no debate is going to change our mind on what we believe on the scriptures. And a lot of the times, if you have to debate, you're not going to change another person's mind from their stance.
Yeah.
There has to be a teaching. One person sits down, shuts the hell up, and learns, and the other person teaches. Right? That's what the scriptures tell us to do.
Can I get one?
Yeah, of course.
This doesn't say. This doesn't have the word debate on it, right? But it says it's First Timothy's. No, I'm sorry. It's 2 Timothy's 2:23.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 23.
Hold up before you read it. Let me make sure it's not 22. Yeah, go ahead, verse 23.
But foolish and unlearned questions avoid.
See? Yep.
Go ahead.
Knowing that they do gender strifes.
Perfect.
Hold on. That wasn't even the one I wanted.
But that's
yeah,
perfect,
but it's
though.
perfect. And the reason I'm going here is because at the end of the day, it's all foolish. If you got to debate something, let's say my sheep hear my voice, right? So when you go to Titus 3 and 9, that's what I wanted. Titus 3 and 9. The scripture says, "My sheep hear my voice, and a man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition, let him be." Right. So if you got to debate the truth to try to get somebody to understand, to accept the truth, if you got to debate it with them, the truth ain't for them. And then once you're in the truth, we understand that when Yahushua passed, he said, "Feed my sheep, feed my sheep, feed my sheep." And when you're debating, I don't have to debate, and I will not debate anybody over the Edomites being the Ishmaelites.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Edomites being the Arabs. I'm not going to go into a debate about that, me personally, because if you can't see that, then you just can't see that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's...
And it's like the scriptures say, one man plant, one man water, the Most High give the increase. So
yeah,
we know that we're not here to convince anybody of anything anyway.
God.
We're just here to drop the information. And either we're going to be planting the seed, we're going to be watering the seed, but for that seed to grow and understand, that's all the Most High. He's going to be the one to give the understanding.
God.
We can only do the planting and the watering.
Exactly.
So the debate don't really suffice for those two things. If anything, I think the debate serve more as a deterrent for people to learn.
Yeah.
Especially the way that Israel wants to debate. When you look at like debate club back in the day, you ever watch like an actual debate, like high school debate clubs or college debate? Mm-hmm. It was two parties coming with factual evidence to support an idea. That's what it was. Niggas want to debate whether or not Mary was a virgin, and they ain't got no fact. That's what niggas want to debate, like the new covenant. That's the new one. Like, let's debate the new covenant. What is it?
Yeah,
well, the Bible tells us what it is. You want to come with your own facts? So you see where the debate, yes, it can be sinful. All debate is not sinful. I don't want you to get that idea in your head, but debate becomes sinful when it's not in the right way because it becomes contentious, argumentative. We ain't supposed to be sitting here arguing with one another, because what does that all breed? Now you want to fight. Now you want to go online. Y'all see the debates online. They'll debate a cat online, and they'll be back on another video clowning him because they debated him and he sucked, or because they won, or this nigga's off. We ain't got time for that, man. That's not going to edify our people.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're here to call out the false doctrine and do all that, but to debate back and forth.
If you don't get it, bro, you don't. Like the scriptures say, the Most High gives the increase. So if you ain't increasing something, then you got to humble yourself. Read that Titus 3 and 9.
The book of Titus, chapter 3, verse 9. But avoid foolish questions.
The scripture says what?
Avoid foolish questions.
So avoid foolish questions. Like, I'm not finna debate no Kemet. I don't care about Egyptology and Kemet. So I'm not finna debate no Kemet. This is just me personally. I'm not finna waste my time debating Kemet. I'm not gonna waste my time debating if Esau is the Arabs. I'm not gonna waste my time debating. It's a lot that I see.
Where the home of the truth is, all that crap.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's.
I'm not debating that.
It's retarded. Well, I don't want to say it's retarded because
they're not.
I don't want to offend nobody, but me personally, I drive down Bissonnet every day. I see the prostitutes. I see the people on crack, the people on drugs. I got better things to do than to debate that. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And genealogies.
Yeah, I'm not going to debate the genealogies and who is who, the Kamala Harris, if she's an Israelite or not. I'm not going to debate that. I'm not going to do the extensive, deep research. Why? Because it don't matter at the end of the day.
Like, where's Japhet?
Yeah, like
all that crap. Like, none of it matters.
Like,
you can't get that far into it anyway. You would have to make things up.
Is Ruth the Moabite?
You'd have to make things up to get your point.
It's so much.
That's the problem with the way Israel wants to debate now. A lot of the things that they're debating is not factual from the Bible. They're actually adding things from other sources. Like, I'm not going to debate the book of Enoch. Like, should we read that or not? I'll show you that where you're not supposed to. I got a good little class coming on that too. Book of Enoch.
That one too.
Ripping that all the way apart. I've been reading it. And why would I have to debate it when I know what the Bible says, I know what the book of Enoch says. How it says it, how it's written, what it says. Why would I debate back and forth? Seek ye first out of the book of the Lord. Right? Isaiah 8:20. Like, we can stand firm on these facts. You know, so yeah, that's the difference in these days of debating. Where what was Paul debating? Well, Paul was still bringing them, he was debating with Jews that were stuck in Old Testament mind state, stuck in one way of doing things, not seeing, wait a minute, here's the spirituality in the law. Here's the Spirit. Here's the Holy Spirit. Here's this, here's that. Oh, snap. Guess what? Some of them, it said they converted. It said, oh, in this day, 5,000 souls were added. 3,000 souls were added. So they were debating with a purpose to get people to follow Yahweh Shai, not to follow Paul.
Yeah.
You see that? Not to follow him and knowledge puffeth up. Let me draw away. Like I said, men will rise up. We read it earlier, right?
That's right.
Men will rise up and draw disciples to themselves.
That's right.
A lot of cats debate for themselves, man.
Yep.
They debate and come up with this foolishness. I got to get into this one about this new covenant and see what this guy is talking about. I got to get into it and see. What there's this new one talking about the new covenant. What is it really? And it's like, what is it really? What it tells you what it is.
Yeah.
Tells you in Hebrews, tells you in Jeremiah, tells you what the new covenant is.
You know, because it's like always something new that pops up. Well, it's not new because I always hear people say it's like the same thing every couple of years. Recycles.
Yep.
And we talked about a couple of weeks ago how, when you're in the truth, the monotony sometimes, and how sometimes it's like you get bored.
Yeah.
And because of that, I wonder if like that's why these people, they're like, man, let me look for something deeper than what is here. Or let me try to look for something different than what's here. But the thing is that you can never really be bored, or you can never really be bored of being in the truth, because there's always something to do with the word. But a lot of these people, man, they don't want to actually go out and put their hands to the plow and do stuff.
To let the Bible unfold itself and get deeper. They got to go the other sort, but that's why it says knowledge puffeth up.
It's like you can't just be a doctor and just stay studying books and reading.
You got to go do the work.
You got to actually go and sit
surgeries
and watch and do the surgeries and understand.
Yep.
But a lot of these people, they're not doing that side. They're just sitting there and just reading books, and they feel like they're doctors. When no, the hell you're not. You just read a whole bunch of books on being a doctor. That's it. Or you're a mechanic and you just read a whole bunch of books on being a mechanic, but you never touched a car. But the guy that actually's been touching the car, or the doctor that's actually been doing the surgeries, he's way ahead of you. Yeah, you might have studied and know a little bit more, but this guy actually knows more.
The doing of it.
The doing of it.
You know that as a mechanic, the more you do, the more you get into different circumstances or different type of. You're like, oh damn, I learned that. It's like we took off the brakes of the car, right? And I was like, damn, that's how you change them brakes. Those are probably one of the easiest brakes to change. Bro, every brake I've ever changed, you got to take off the whole housing, the whole caliper to get it to the brakes. You got to push back the what is it called? You got to push back the piston with a clamp. Bro, he took out one pin, pulled the thing, and pulled them out. I was like, huh? Wow. But how do you know that if you don't keep going through the experiences?
Yeah.
Right, and so you're not getting that opposite side.
Like what you call a paper champ.
Right, you a paper champ,
Paper champ.
Looks good on paper, but now he get up in that ring,
right?
He can't perform according to what he looks like.
Yeah, it's like draft bus.
Yeah, so
you was good at the come. Studio Gangsters, all that.
Right.
Keyboard Warriors.
Keyboard,
and that's the ones that always want to debate. The ones that want to be sitting on the keyboards, they can type fast.
But you know,
all caps.
You know, and I guess this is a good question to end it. You know, on this class, on everything that we hit with this class, the ones that generally bring up that debate is the same ones that don't keep the standard when they do come around.
Yep.
It's the same brothers, it's the same sisters that come up with their own thoughts and their own ideologies, and they start pushing that. So that's
What else? Is that it?
Yeah, that was it.
All right. Well, we thank y'all online for watching. What's today? Today's Wednesday, right? Y'all know that this whole hurricane thing is supposed to be moving through Houston, Louisiana. We don't know how bad it's going to be out here, so we may or may not have Shabbat morning class on Saturday. All right, it just depends on the rain. We flood over here by the school very heavily, so I'm not going to put brothers and sisters at risk Saturday morning if it's not looking good. If it's not looking good, we'll announce it on the chat, and we might have another alternative. VA might be able to go live Saturday. We don't know, but if it's bad out here, you probably won't see us Friday, and you won't see us Saturday. All right, but we'll try to give brothers and sisters the heads up. All right, so we're ended there with that. We want to say shalom to everybody. The water for joining, the water for watching, the water for coming to learn, and just keep fighting. It's almost over. All right, so with that, let's say shalom.
Shalom.
In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on cop? The Most High is my rock. TK. Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plane and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on cop? The Most High is my rock.